Don't let a fat savings account balance trick you into thinking you're winning. Because while you're being responsible, inflation is quietly picking your pocket, and your bank is never going to warn you about it. So if you clicked on this video today, there's a reason. Because the money you worked so hard to save could be losing purchasing power every single month. Not maybe, actually. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why and what to do instead. This is M3 Money Mindset Makeover, where we're flipping the script on money for Millennials and Gen Z. If you've been doing everything right, budgeting, skipping the extra delivery order, stacking cash into savings, and you still feel like you're not actually getting anywhere, this one's for you. Let's learn together. The one mindset shift that turns your savings account from a security blanket into a launch pad. Now let's get into it. Here's what nobody tells you. You can do everything right by old school standards and still end up standing still. You built the emergency fund. You stopped the impulse buys. You watch that balance grow every month like it's a little trophy. And yet you check your account and somehow you don't feel richer. Rent went up. Groceries cost more than they did last year. That big savings number doesn't feel so big anymore. You're not imagining that. Right now, roughly half of Gen Z and Millennials don't even have 1 month of expenses saved. So if you've built any kind of cushion, you're already ahead of a lot of people your age. But being ahead of everyone else and actually building wealth are two very different things. And that gap is exactly what we're talking about today. Saving isn't the problem. Saving is step one. The problem is stopping at step one and calling it the whole plan. Let's do the math nobody actually shows you. Right now, the average savings account in this country is paying under 1% interest. Meanwhile, prices have been climbing around 4% a year. So that money sitting in your account isn't just standing still, it's losing real value. Same number on the screen. Smaller amount of actual life it can buy. But here's where it gets worse. Let's say you're smart about it and you move that money into a high-yield savings account, earning closer to 4%. Good move. But you're still basically just treading water against inflation. You're not losing ground as fast. You're still not building anything. Now here's the number that changes everything. Historically, broad market investing has averaged somewhere around 10% a year over the long run. Not every single year. Some years it's down, some years it's way up. But averaged out over decades, that's roughly the number. Think about two friends, Maya and Jordan. They both start saving $400 a month at 25. Maya keeps hers in a savings account. Jordan puts hers into an index fund. 10 years pass. Maya has roughly $48,000, and thanks to inflation, it's actually worth less than that in real life. Jordan, at a historical 10% average, has closer to $80,000. Same effort every single month. Same discipline. Almost double the outcome. That's not luck. That's just where the money lived. That gap between doing nothing and actually investing is the entire reason two people who save the exact same amount every month can end up in two completely different financial universes 20 years from now. One of them has a pile of cash that inflation has been quietly chipping away at the whole time. The other has money that's been working a second job for them basically while they sleep, while they're at brunch, while they're just living their life. Most people don't realize this. Your savings account was never built to make you rich. It was built to protect you. It's your emergency fund. Your don't touch this unless it's a real crisis money. That is its entire job description, and it's a good one. The wealth building part happens somewhere else, in investments that actually outpace inflation. Think index fund. That's exactly why I created the M3 investing playlist. When this video ends, binge a few of those short videos and you'll have a roadmap to start growing your wealth with confidence. So this is exactly why so many young adults are stuck. Most believe correctly that the market is a solid place to build wealth. But a huge chunk of them aren't putting any money in each month for retirement at all. They know the move. They're just not making it. Because saving feels safe and investing feels scary. So the money just sits there, comfortable, quiet, and quietly losing ground every single year it stays put. Quick question. Where's most of your extra money sitting right now? Savings account, checking account, or somewhere it's actually growing? Drop it in the comments, no judgment. I read every single one, and honestly, some of the best conversations on this channel happen right there. You could help someone else out with the same struggle, so pass it on. Okay, so here's what actually works. Stop thinking of saving and investing as competitors. They're not rivals, they're teammates with two completely different jobs. Saving protects you from yesterday's emergencies. Investing builds you a future you haven't even imagined yet. Bam! Write that one down, so you need both. But most people only ever build one of those muscles, the saving muscle, because it feels controllable and safe. And then they wonder why, 10 years later, they did everything right and still aren't any closer to actual freedom. This is where broke ends and ownership begins. Not the moment you save your first $1,000, rather the moment you stop treating your savings account like the finish line and start treating it like the starting line. Getting rich was never about how many pennies you could hoard. It's about building systems that keep growing your money whether you're paying attention to it or not. So here's your move. Keep your emergency fund, and do that first if you have not yet, 3 to 6 months of expenses, sitting safe in a high-yield account where it belongs. That part is non-negotiable. But everything beyond that number needs a job. It needs to be invested, growing, compounding, and working a shift for you every single day, including the days you don't think about money at all. You don't need to be a genius. You don't need to time the market perfectly. You just need to start, stay consistent, and give it time to actually do its thing. The difference between someone who's actually building wealth and someone who's just watching a number sit still isn't luck, and it isn't income. It's this one decision. The wealth gap isn't just about income, it's about the financial decisions you make over decades. Subscribe and join the M3 Mavericks if you're ready to be on the right side of that equation. Then click this next video, where I'll show you the money habits that quietly separate millionaires from everyone else. See you inside M3, fam!